Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Monday Night Live. It is so great to see you all here tonight. I see lots of chatter going on in the comments. That's so great. I even seen someone here from Holland. That's pretty cool. Kentucky and Wisconsin, Oregon. I love seeing where everybody is from. That's always so great to see the different parts of the world that everybody is tuning in from. We have Chicago. Mary, that's funny. My daughter was just in Chicago this weekend for a fun college event. So, hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I see Amrita in the comments and Beth. And I also seen Altenew is in the comments with us. So that might have given you a hint if you haven't checked out the video description yet, is that tonight I'm featuring products from Altenew. And they do have a special discount or a little discount for you. So great to see everybody. I think it is Mitzi, I believe, in behind the badge on Altenew. So thanks for joining us tonight, Mitzi. Watching from Ohio, wonderful, and Texas, Michigan, Alberta. I love it. Southern California. Thankfully, I know you guys are spelling it out, so I don't have to try and guess the names of the states. So, hi everyone. Thank you. All right. So, before I get started into my project, and I will show this periodically throughout the live too, but I wanted to show you what Altenew has offered for you guys tonight. So, let me pop up that thumbnail really quick for you. There we go. So, exclusively for you guys, this is $8 off orders over $79. You can use the code Mindy Live 4 at checkout, or I believe I did update the video description so that there's a special link that will have the code or the discount already embedded into it. I believe how it is. So if you don't see it, come off your order, enter the code Mindy Live 4, and that'll give you $8 off. There's also, I was looking really quick on their website. They have a couple like deals going on right now. I believe there's ones on dye collections. So be sure to check those out because sometimes you can get some extra savings in there. So this offer is valid through the 19th. So thank you to Altenew for reaching out and providing this to you guys. And one of those projects that you're seeing in this graphic is mine. Actually, there might be two. I can't remember. And I'm actually going to show those to you guys. So let me bring you back over here. So a lot of times I have card examples I want to share, and then by the end of the live, I forget all about it, and I end without showing those extra card samples. So before we start with today's card creation, I want to show you the extra cards I created that are featuring the November 2025 release from Altenew. Now, I didn't link these products down below. I'm sure Mitzi is probably knows them off the top of her head or can refer to them quickly. But if you're interested in any of those products, any of the links down below will take you to the Altenew website. And it also is an affiliate link. So just meaning that anytime you click one of my links and then make a purchase, I do get a small commission back from that. And it is greatly appreciated. So all of those are affiliate links down below. So hello, everyone. Yes, trying to get it all out so I don't forget anything. There is a visual supply list. I do have a full link down below. I did kind of briefly go over some of the products that I'm going to use today, but then of course I'll update that supply list after the live is done. So, oh, you're keeping an eye out for the Secret Garden 2026 sign up, Michelle. That sounds fantastic. All right, guys, I'm going to drop you down to my work surface. I was just going over quick if there were any questions before we get started. And I did see though, Janet here is from Scotland. So, hi, Janet. That caught my eye earlier. Yes, I did. I did want to mention that. I look like a bundled up snowman right now. And it is not that cold in Wisconsin. We get pretty cold, but it's not that cold right now. I woke up with a chill. And once you get that chill in your bones, you cannot get it out. So I just completely bundled up. So I look like a little snowman right now, but it's really not that bad. So, all right. So let me take you down to my work surface. I rearranged my whole screen here. So let me see if I can find you guys. There we are. All right. So my card examples I wanted to share with you. Again, I don't remember the names of the products used, but these are products that were released. That's a hair. Don't mind that. During the November 2025 release. Now, this one is a die set that I pulled out, I think. Yes, I think this die set is from the Stylish Greetings die set. And then this is a stencil. And I added these stripes in the background with some of their shimmery leaf paste, I believe they call it. I need to dig that out more because it is so, so pretty. So, this is one of the products that was released in November. And here is another one. Again, I'm so sorry I don't have the names for these. This was just kind of a quick last minute decision, but just showing you the options that are out there. So I have a dotted background here. I think this was actually a press plate at a previous release that I added to the background. But of course, I did some stenciling there. This one is a little bit more simple stenciling. There's not a lot of layers to it, but I really like that I could create that background with those flowers. So there are two cards. This one is one of my favorites. I just love this layering flower. I did some really nice, kind of vibrant, rich colors for this flower. And I popped up that center panel there. So it's got a little bit of lift to it. This is another one that is using that Stylish Greetings die set. And this one, it's kind of hard to tell. So first we have in the background is an embossing folder. And then this has embossing. So it's an embossing folder with a coordinating stencil and it creates this cute little floral arrangement. I didn't color the centers, I left them white, but I just find that to be really beautiful and it kind of gave a flow to my card. So you can find any of these products on the What's New category, I believe, or under the November 2025 category. You can find any of those products. A couple of these, I don't think I shared this one yet, but some of them I have shared. This one I know I shared. This is a clean and simple card. Literally, the stencil does all the work. And I used one of their brand new ink collections. So it's kind of more of what would we say, muted purples, and I love that sentiment. Find joy in the little things. I love this. We have pretty much adapted this in our life because when you have, or you know somebody in your family that has something like autism, you start to appreciate the little things in life. So when I saw that sentiment, I fell in love with it right away. It's a beautiful scripty font. And you really do just need to find the joy in the little things because you have to celebrate the little things as much as the big things. So that's also new. Now we're going to start heading into some of my favorite ones. This one, I believe I shared on my blog and also on the Altenew blog. It is featuring this adorable layering bumblebee. He is so cute. I think I made about 5 or 6 of them. They're still floating around in my packaging. And then I have this stencil background. Now, I believe this has a embossing folder as well, but I didn't use it. I just really, really loved that stencil design, but the embossing folder would give it more dimension. So that's another one. That's one of my favorites. And here, okay, I think I might have to just move some things because I made 3 cards with this next one. So I believe this was the Craft Your Life. I don't know. I love the Craft Your Life and Build a Garden. I think this was the Craft Your Life, which they have really just taken to a whole new level because there's dyes in there that can be used on their own. It doesn't even have to. Oop, this is upside down. It doesn't have to be with the kit, but I loved this background. These sweet bees are created. This is all a stencil. Now you can leave it as a stencil, or there is a cutting plate. I think it's a zero waste cutting plate that you can use to die cut all of those out and create smaller elements for your cards. So that's what I did here is I just used one of the flowers to go with my honey jar. Love, love, love that honey jar. And then this one, I just created a small arrangement. And this is the one that I was talking about in the graphic. So I just created my own little arrangement with an ink blended background. And I used the individual honeycomb pieces as kind of like embellishments. So very, very sweet. This one, I did use the embossing folder. So it's a honeycomb background embossing folder. And then I spritzed it, I think I spritzed it with like their iridescent shimmer spray, I believe, because it's got a shine to it. So those were some really fun ones. So be sure to check out the What's New category for November 2025. Any of the links down below will take you to the website if you wanted to use affiliate links, but love this. And I know a lot of people have this. And oh my gosh, they're one of my favorite things to work with are the Craft Your Life kits. So I just wanted to show you these so I don't forget because I always forget. So that's all of my inspiration there. Actually, I think there's one more and I don't know what I did with it. Or maybe I didn't turn it into a card. Oh no, I didn't turn it into a card. We just may use it then because I have a background done and I didn't use it. So what I am going to use today is the garden swing layering die. So this is their keyhole system that we know and love that helps us make these beautiful die cut creations super easy. It shows you all the pieces. There's a couple things I do want to point out to this. And then, whoops, I need that one too. Inside, everything is on these clear carrier sheets. On the back, they give a guide. And then also on the website, there is a guide plus inspiration. So this is what we're going to work with today. I'm going to show you how to assemble it. Oh, and I'm so sorry. The Band-Aid I know is not very pretty. I was putting together some furniture this weekend and I gave myself a really bad blister. So I had to cover that up. Hi, everybody. I've seen lots of hellos in the comments. Thank you all so much for popping in tonight. It's great to see all of you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I did die cut a lot of this ahead of time to save some time. So we're really just going to be working on assembly. So the first thing I started off with is I'm creating right up here with option 1. And I'm going to zoom you guys in so that we can really see this come together. And when you do your die cutting, the dies do have a number 1, a number 2. They all have numbers on them that get etched into the actual cardstock. So for instance, if you can kind of see that there is a number 1 over there in that top corner. So when I talk about numbers, that's what I'm going to be referring to. Now there are 2 pieces here. There's this one and then these 2, which at first you'd be like, well, gosh, Mindy, those are the same thing. Nope, they're not. The difference is that the top tab here. So this one has a number 2, and then these 2 have a little hole. So if you look on our guide, it says option 2 is the one with the little hole at the top. This would be option 2. If you wanted to use the garland over the top of the chair, the swing, instead of the topper piece. And I'm actually going to do both. I'm going to use both. So I just wanted to point that out. So I want the ones that have these tabs at the top. So I'm starting with number 1. Let me get out my craft mat here to catch all of my glue. I'm going to clean that up a little bit first. Does anybody already have the garden swing? Kind of curious. I know this release has been out for a little bit, and I've seen some people say they've been playing with some of their projects or their kits. So I'd love to hear if you already have this. Hi, Florna. I did see you pop in here. Thanks for joining. Good to see you as always. Oop, I got to get into my frame here. Okay, so we have number 1. Now also notice this side has like an upside down T, and then this side has the actual keyhole system. Then we can move on to step 2 is going to be attaching these 2 pieces. And I referred to this a lot when I was even die cutting to figure out what color cardstocks I was going to use. And then I also look over here like, well, what is it supposed to look like? Because there were some things I wasn't doing correct at first. And if you're not familiar with the keyhole system, we are going to match up these designs. And this is going to help us get perfect placement of our pieces. So no guesswork involved. Now, it might look a little off just because I don't want to block the shot all the time with my head getting over there, but we're going to match up these pieces and just glue it down. So the keyhole lines up with the keyhole. And when I was picking out my colors, I do have all of my Altenew cardstocks swatched out. So I kind of went through and I just looked at the picture and I was like, well, I need some pieces to be for the actual swing. Then we have the sides here that are going to be a different color or a darker color. So I kind of just went through my cardstock swatches, and it's funny because before even looking at the colors, I normally land on green gold is one of my favorites for some reason. I don't know why. That is my darker color is green gold. And then the citronella. There's always a word that's going to get me in alive. Always, always. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Now I'm going to grab my tweezers because those are going to be very, very handy when grabbing these pieces. I also want to make sure I can see. Hi, Mary Kay. So I'm going to start with gluing. And when I apply my glue, sometimes I don't apply it to the entire area. I just really need to apply it right behind here. So let's go ahead and add our glue there. All right, 1 minute. Readers gotta come out. There we go. Now I can see. All right, so I'm just gonna attach those 2. So I have the 1 and the 2. Okay, thank you. And then, oh, here's my number 2. Silly. Let's see what pieces I can lose tonight, guys. And then our number 2 over here is going to be that keyhole. Hi, Stephanie. And is it, okay, now forgive me, is it Isha? Is that how you pronounce your name? Welcome. Okay, so now I need, let's start to focus. Number 3. And what was number 3? Number 3, I believe, is going to be my topper. So our decorative piece. And you can see on here, there is some like little etched designs on our topper piece. I thought that was super pretty. So we're going to line up those designs once again. And tonight I am using my, oh, what's this? I always forget it. Glue press, I think is what it's called. I have Connect Glue from Gina K Designs in my glue press. So I'm going to try and do this without getting my head in the shot. So I'm going to start over here with this one, and then I can kind of just move that over as needed to line that up. Okay. Isha, thank you. Thank you, Amrita. I'm hoping I got that right. Isha. It's correct. All right. Always going to catch me in a live with something with pronunciation. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to step 4, and it even gives you little notes that says adhere this piece behind layer 2. Well, hopefully I didn't forget something. Number 4. Did I hit? What is number 4? It might just be die cutting again, as we'll see. What is number 4? Oh, here. So number 4. Okay, this is going to be our swing. Lining up my 2 shapes. Oh, I need to move that a little maybe. So what's going to happen, and I was playing with this ahead of time. So bear with me here, friends. There's going to be I might have to bugger all. Hold the phone. Okay, I might be a little off here, but we're going to work with it. We're going to work with it. Might be a little off. I'm okay with that. All right, so that's going to be number 4. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting all distracted. I had this laid out perfectly before. Number 5, 6 is going to be our chair. We're just going to go with it, friends. I'm just going to go with it. So let's get some glue over here. And if I need to recut some pieces, then I will. Normally, I would actually die cut this out of like a white cardstock first to practice, and I did not. See if I can move my swing handle over to line that up. There, I kind of got it. Move the swing behind on the left side. Behind. Oh. Like that. Oh, look at you. Okay. Good thing we're going to hide that. See, we have very much discovered I do not read directions. Even when they're like this, I am awful at directions, even when I can read them out loud. My husband and I discovered this the other day. Well, I already kind of knew I don't follow directions. There you go. Thank you, Jane. Oh, and then I moved it. Come on, get back on there. There. Okay. Is that looking right? Okay. All right. We're looking good. Jane, have you put this together, or did you just see that I was not making sense? Okay. So that was number 4, right? So now I need to find, is it number 5? Oh, I need to look at my pieces. Some of these pieces. Okay, that one's got a number 5 on it. Hard to see on camera, but that's going to be our number 5. So it's going to be the arm for that side. Okay. So I don't follow directions until I have to. Even on, okay, I'm a little off, I think, on my swing. But you know what? I just saw it didn't match the directions. Oh, yeah. I even read those directions out loud and it didn't sink in. I have to do things wrong before I figure out how to do it. Which, like here, I don't think that's right. But I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna just keep going. And then this, I think, will go here. This will go. So it's covering up the keyhole, which is what Altenew does, is that they always create something that's going to cover up the keyhole so that they don't see our little tricks. So there's that. And then, oh, you know what? Oh, buggers. I didn't add my seat. You guys, I didn't add my seat. Okay, hold on. Can I save it? Can we do it? Yes, we can. Anybody else's kids watched that when they were growing up? Okay, so this was my seat that I completely missed. I jumped to number 7 instead of number 6. So this is going to line up over the arrow on that side. I know you guys can't see that very well, but there's an arrow over there. And then I'll move this so it's going to line up like that. And maybe push that up a little bit. Boy, I am just botching this up tonight, ain't I? But you'll have that. Learn from any of my mistakes. Pick one. Let's tuck that back down. And then I'm going to bring in my glue and we're going to try and save this. See if I can tuck that back in. You don't tell anybody. Okay. A little bit over here of a gap, but that's okay. All right, and then we can add our poles. And this one I did catch myself on is your poles, one is longer than the other. So be aware of that. We want the longer one to go over here. And then our shorter one will go over here. So it's going to be super cute. So let's get some glue added there. I was trying to actually think of like oh, this is going to cover up, I think, on the side there. I think so. I was trying to think of like how I could make this into a Christmas card, like an old porch swing all decorated out. So that was kind of a direction I was going to try and go in, but we'll see. Okay, so that is that side. And then we have this one. So by the time all of our pieces are adhered together, we'll have covered up all of the keyholes. So I'm lining that one up. Oh, I have way too much glue on that other side. That is why I work on that mat. There. Now, of course, I could have added dimension with some color, do some ink blending. But a lot of times with these kind of dies, I really will just make one first, sometimes out of white cardstock, just to kind of test it out because I have lots of white cardstock. And sometimes I'll do it with the colored cardstock and then I'll be like, oh, well, that was easy. I can just go back and add some shading to it if I wanted to. So that is how that is looking. If let's move this for a second. And I purposely picked this red seat because, like I said, I was kind of thinking of like a Christmas swing if you wanted to still work something into a Christmas card. They have flowers on their die set. They have flowers here on the die set, so you could also decorate it with the flowers. Oh, this is really small. Let me grab, I shouldn't say really small. It'll fit perfectly. So if you were to do an A2 size card, this is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch, 4 1/4 by 5.5 card front. So this is how it looks on landscape, and this is how it's going to look on portrait. So I think I did my legs wrong. Does this look funny to anybody? Did I do that wrong? Maybe I just need to tilt it. I feel like I did it wrong. I think I did that wrong. We'll see. I have an idea yet. But anyway, I also die cut out this greenery. Now, on the original, now I'm just zoomed in really, really far because I wanted you guys to really see it. So you can do just the greenery, you can add the greenery, we can do flowers over here. You could do it like they gave an option too, where if you wanted your swing to be from a branch, you could do that. I'm going to add the greenery at the top. So let's go ahead and do that. I kind of just really like the greenery. I hadn't decided if I was going to add flowers to it or not. I think I did pull out some red cardstock, a bright red, if I was going to do some bright red flowers. So just kind of, oh, I got a little carried away with my glue there. Okay. I hate covering up the detail, but I just really like that greenery. Hello from New Jersey. Right, so that is super pretty. So let me back this out a little bit because that might give you a better perspective on how this looks. So that's how the swing is looking so far. And I like that. So let me show you next. Yeah. So this was the background that I never finished onto a card. So you could add this to some rolling hills to make it, but it needs something that just doesn't seem right to me. So I got to think about this a little bit. I was actually thinking of using this stencil like snowy hills in the background, but I would have to be very selective on what areas I'm ink blending because I think I need some grounding here, which I still might do. Okay, let me know. Should I do green hills or should I try some snowy hills? Ooh, red gems on the greenery would be really festive. That would be really good. Yes, red gems for berries. That is a great idea. Great idea. All right, so should I do some snowy hills or should I just use the green hills background? You guys let me know what you think. May actually get done on time today. It would look great as a birthday card with gifts on it. It would. Pile some gifts on top of that. That would look really pretty. Snowy Hills, Mary Kay says. Snowy Hills, snowy. Okay, you guys want to see blending action is what you want to do. I can catch you. I catch you. All right, so let's pull out this. And let's take a look at our stencil. So I'm kind of tilting this. You can see every now and then when I tilt, there's etched numbers on the stencil. Now these also have trees. So I'm going to have to mask that off because I don't think I'm going to work those in there. But the first thing I'm going to do is just make sure that these are all in order. So 1, 2, and 3. I don't think there's any separations anywhere. You guys are all voting for Snowy Hills. Okay. Let me see if I remember how to layer that up. So let's do some Snowy Hills. Snowy, snowy. Christmas swing. I know Christmas swing kind of feels like it should be a Hallmark channel, right? Oh, my brand new, fairly brand new sticky mat. So let's pop my cardstock down. So this is just Hammermill cardstock that I'm using tonight. And then let's get this started. So press that down. Aw, it would look so cute with some critters sitting on the swing. You are absolutely right. Okay, and then I'm gonna need to mask off these trees for now, I think. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. I know my sticky mat is so clean. I think I've only used it once. My other one, my very well loved one, is in the drawer. And let's see, I think I'm going to use, because really I don't want to cover the whole thing. I just want a little bit. So let's grab maybe some, I'm going to use, I think, one of these brushes, and let me pick out a blue. What should we use for a blue? I did link all of the brushes down below because I figured if I was going to use the stencil, or maybe ink blend background, I wasn't 100%. So I just linked them because I love them all. I'm just flipping through my swatch book and maybe oh, blueberry is pretty. Maybe we'll try some blueberry. Pretty blue. Or actually I'm going to do polar bear and icy water. Hi, Donna. Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Critters. Red ruined your sticky mat. I know. I have red on mine too. Actually, it's like stripes from stockings. So I use that one for my kind of normal crafting mat. And then I just bought a nice, I shouldn't say just bought. I've had this for a little while. A nice, pretty clean one. So I'm starting with a polar bear ink. And I just want to really go along that horizon line to give it the look of snow. I may have to trim out a snowbank to kind of ground everything because I think this one's going to be a little too far down. Hi, Lori. Great to see you here. Okay, we'll come up here. It's a pretty light blue. I might have to come in with that other one. I think this might be too light. Oh, thank you. I'll have to remember to link the whole swatching thing. I get a lot of questions a lot of times about my ink swatch book, and I love that thing. I really, really do. I reference it all the time. So anytime I get new ink colors, ooh, that's right, it's sticky. Anytime I get new ink colors and stuff, I immediately get them swatched out because I use that so much. I kind of jumped over to icy water. I know a lot of times those light colors, it doesn't look like it's that dark until after you kind of reveal it, but just felt like that was going to be too light. Oh, hi, Mari. I see somebody saying hi to you in the comments. Oh, there you are. Hi, Mari. And let's see how this is looking. Oh, yeah, see, that is so much darker than I anticipated it to be. This is really cool. That really looks like a snowy hill. So let's go to Stencil 2. This may be my only kryptonite here is matching up my stencils. All right, I think I'm getting it. So if you aren't sure, because like I don't have a guide on my sticky mat to tell me where my next stencil should go. So I am matching up the curve up here with the curve on my snowbank. So I'm doing that for all of them. I'm kind of looking at that. I'm lining up that curved edge. Same thing, I'll just kind of shift this to line that edge up with this one. Except I have to kind of adjust that a little bit. So I kind of got to shift it just depending where I am on each part of the stencil. Okay, about right there maybe. They are some really pretty blues. And let's reuse our Post-it tape there. Because like I said, I'm not going to use... okay, I'll have to do a separate one. Not going to use the trees. Suppose I could have, but oh, I need one more piece. Thank you, Amrita. That's usually one that she'll put in when I'm gathering up supplies, as she'll write, and the ink swatch video. So we'll go through, build up our snowy hills. So I just jumped right into the icy water. Maybe I'll kind of try and blend that out a little bit with the lighter one. We'll see here. Everything's kind of an experimentation to see how it all looks. Okay, Sydney, Australia. Wow. Thank you for joining me. Gosh, that's got to be, oh, I bet that's what, early morning for you then over in Australia? Oop, that might be a little dark right there. Okay, we'll see how this is looking. So yes, I have, if you're just joining or join late, I have moderators in the comments. They are just providing some links to some of the basic supplies that I have mentioned. I didn't link everything because I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing. So I do have some links down below. That's what you're seeing in the comments. And I do have a special discount also if you are looking to pick anything up out of from Altenew. I have $8 off a $79 order or more, and that's valid from the 17th through the 19th. 8 a.m. in the Philippines. You know, I actually was really curious on what time it was where you're at, Mitzi, because I feel like Mitzi is everywhere all the time. And I always wonder, it's like, is she moderating like at 2 in the morning or her time to be with us in our time? Like, I feel sorry sometimes because it's like her internal clock must just be all messed up when it comes to time zones. She is a trooper. 8 a.m. in the Philippines. Okay, so this should be the last one. So let's go ahead and block off these trees once again. And I am just going to cover all of them because I don't trust myself. So let's finish off. Let's actually start with the polar bear. The polar bear was the super duper light one. Just using that same blending brush because it'll wear off the other ink. So we'll see how this works. I did not plan this. And I mean, I knew I was going to use the swing, but as far as what the scene was, I really had no idea. And that's really how my cards are, is I'll just create something and then I play around with the scenes to see what feels right to me. So maybe this will work, maybe it won't. And if it doesn't, then that just means I have to figure something out off screen because I'm only going to be here for, well, I know I've gone like an hour and a half before, but plan on only being here about an hour or so tonight. And if anybody is crafting along with this set, since some of you say you just got it, I would love to see your inspiration that you created. And I do got to ask too, because I'm sure a lot of you here are, what do they call them? Repeat offenders. But how do you guys feel about a Facebook group? Like if you created something inspired off of my live or my videos, how do you guys feel about Facebook groups? Because I am not really 100% sold on Instagram anymore because it's really hard to see anything. Hashtags are pretty much non-existent. They don't mean anything anymore, and it's really hard to search by them on Instagram. So I was just kind of curious what you guys feel about a Facebook group. I know there's lots and lots of Facebook groups out there, so I was kind of just curious what your thoughts are. Who's 2 a.m.? I missed it. 2 a.m. somewhere. Wow. I am coming back in with this icy water. Deepen that blue hue up a little bit. I'm seeing some weird colors emerge. And I have a feeling that's due to I may not have cleaned the stencil very well when I used it last with the green ink. So we might get some interesting colors here. You love Facebook for inspiration and ideas. So it sounds like you guys kind of like that. Okay. No, I know there's some people I know aren't a huge fan, and I actually don't even spend a lot of time on Facebook either. I do have a business page that I share my links to videos, to blog posts, any sales happening. I a lot of times will post those to my business page. But this would be a Facebook group. Facebooks are easier for you to follow than Instagram. I agree, Jane. Instagram, I mean, I still use it and I love it, but you can't hardly search for anything. And I know even Facebook, like there's a million different card making Facebook groups. And so this one would be kind of geared towards, if I were to do it, the things that maybe you created that were inspired off of. Maybe it was a color combination or, a live that I did, or maybe it was the products I used. So kind of geared towards being inspired off of something I did. Okay. So that is interesting. That's definitely snowy hills. It's definitely some, I could add some white splatter to create some snow. I am in so many groups and I feel bad. I missed it. Feel bad sometimes. Feel guilty when not visiting as much. I know, I understand. I don't either. That's why I'm like, do I dare? Because I don't either. I don't comment a ton. I share jokes on Facebook. That's my extent of Facebook. Okay, so super sticky mat. I'm just gonna fold this right in half and it's gonna pop that off. So look at that. So we have two different ways you can use the stencil, which wasn't even the focus of my video today, but I was a little bit off down here, but I think I'm gonna create a snowy hill. Facebook, okay. Or we have green hills, and this is what it would look like with the trees. So that's how those two are kind of coming together. Looks cool. Let me wipe up my mess a little bit. Oh, I'm glad you guys are loving that idea. Just to get some of that blue off. Okay, so now I think I'm going to I might have to set my scene a little bit. Let me just see. Do I have an extra? Yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock and do I want to cut it a straight line? Or let's try a wavy line. Let's just do this. I just want to see what this would look like to ground that a little bit more. Like I said, you guys are kind of getting me without my ideas. I should have done better with my idea planning, but I didn't. No, I don't like that. Do kind of like that. All right, what do you guys think? Betsy says, I like most of the Facebook groups, and some are very restrictive as to brands. I love one that I'm in that doesn't limit the product you use. I wish everyone would share what products they used. Good to know. Well, I can guarantee if I were to do one, it would not include the I don't want to say the name of the companies out loud. There's a couple companies that create off brands. I call them the naughty companies. They create knockoffs, and I would not allow knockoffs. The knockoffs. It would have to be the true company or their outlet, or like an online retailer. I would not allow the companies that do the knockoffs. I'm very strong about that. What about a deck? I don't have a deck. This is kind of what I had to work with. Use the background only. Okay, so you're liking this with just the background, right? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that too. That snowbank didn't quite fit for me. Put some shadows under the legs to ground it. Good idea. Yeah, it feels a little off to me yet. Really bad though. If I don't finish it on screen, I'm really bad about getting it done. Hmm. Yep, that would be the thing. Shadows under the legs and stuff. I can see that. Yeah, it's got to have some sort of dimension to it. Can pop it up. Let's start by one sec. Let's start by adding dimension. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this finished tonight, to be honest, because it's not sitting with me. Pebbles. Love your guys' ideas. Yeah, I need more. I need more to it. Needs a gazebo. Yeah, I need more to it. I was hoping to go for clean and simple. Let's see. And of course, some things just look better with foam tape. Yeah, okay. And so hold on. I just saw somebody say, I need a sky. And you're right. I might actually quickly do a real simple scene. This was kind of a last minute decision on that end. Do I have a stone stencil you could use? Stencil stones underneath. I probably do. Well, and there were some things I was looking for before the live, and I just, for the life of me, couldn't find it. My brain is not fully operational today. Dalton got up at 4 o'clock this morning, and I did take a nap, which spruced me up a little bit, but it still is. It was hurting a little bit today to be up that early. And then he crawls. Daddy gets up because he thinks Dalton's getting up because he is. And then Dalton takes Daddy's spot in bed, says he's going to go back to sleep. So, okay, try to go back to sleep. And apparently I started snoring because then Dalton kicked me out of my bed. So it just didn't work this morning for any of us. All right, that was foam tape. Okay, but hold on. I need to try something. Okay. When all else fails, we ink blend. So let's grab some. Oh, let's just use these colors. Let's do this. I mean, it's my go-to anyway, right? Maybe use that snowdrift in front of the swing and cut it down so it looks like the swing is sitting in the snow. Great idea. Maybe just some shadows. Okay, we're going to try something here, because this is a go-to of mine when I just feel stuck. So I'm starting with, I'm still using that same collection that I had. So this is the icy water. So I'm starting with icy water and just adding a sky. I'll leave that bottom part there. My superpower. Well, and when nothing else is working for me, or I'm just not feeling it, or even sometimes it's like, it just seems like too much work. Work to think out a whole scene. Like I just kind of want it to fall nicely together. And sometimes that just doesn't happen. So when all else fails, we ink blend. We'll turn that into a sticker, right? When all else fails, ink blend. And then this is why I linked all of those blending brushes. So we're going to do, of course, I went for a nighttime sky. I think that's going to be kind of more eye-catching. I think maybe that was my problem, is I'm just in a mood of needing something more vibrant. So I started with the light color and then I just worked my way up to that darker color. That last one, Arctic Mountain, that's a really pretty color. It looks actually a little more purple on screen than it is, but it's actually a nice deep blue. For some reason my screen is reading it as purplish. So let me clean this up. I have a lot of leftover ink here. There. Glass cleaner will clean that right up. And then just as a little wet for a little longer. There. See, that just feels better to me a little bit, actually. Is that dry yet? There. And then where'd my swing go? Okay, so hold up. We're going to do something quick. Oh, no. Wait, I would do it with my swing. So I said I'm going to add splatters is what I was going for. But if I'm going to add snow, then it would go over the swing too. Okay. And what do I got here? I wasn't going to go too long. But I don't know. I might have some red gems handy, but there is a die to do flowers. Okay, I think I'm going to do this. I have it popped up. I think I'm going to do this, and I can color in some shadows. So let's do this. I just need to commit. That's my problem. So let's add this. So see, all else fails, ink blend. But you got an idea now to use those green hills as snowy hill. As a snowy hill, snowy hills. It just wasn't working for me tonight. Okay. And you know, I think I have to hold up. I just got to do something quick. Let's see, what do I want to use? I don't think I can handle all of these colors being, sorry about that. I didn't mean that to be so loud. I did add foam tape back there, but I just don't think I can handle my edges like this. Okay, but I'm gonna need to mask off some stuff. So let's mask that a little bit. And this is Sea Forest ink. Just trying to brush the edges a little bit. Oops, that got a little carried away. All right, so we're kind of getting a little texturized because I got a little carried away on my brush. But I needed to do something. And we'll come over here. See, this is something you probably want to do before you glue it together. And probably before you add foam tape. But this is how I roll. And I'm not going to get a ton on this one, but it'll be something. Okay, and throw a little bit there. All right, how is that? Is this feeling a little better to you guys? It's feeling better to me. And oh, Dalton's alarm is going off on his iPad. I was wondering what that weird noise was. There. I wonder if it'll shut off on its own. I don't know why he sets an alarm. Dalton, your alarm is going off. I know they're listening. Okay. So I already have my snowbank glued down. Oh, there. I think that's much better. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's a lot better. I should have added some here too, but maybe I'll bring in some markers. I think I'll do. And then I just need to add a sentiment. So 1 second. Okay. The only thing is I did not bring out any Christmas sentiments. It's actually what I was looking for before the live started. And I, for the life of me, could not find my Christmas sentiments. So that I will have to create off camera. What I will probably do is get this finished up. I will update the supply list tonight. And then I will do some pictures tomorrow so that you guys can see the finished project. But I really want to add a sentiment, a Christmas sentiment to this, or, you know, just something about maybe being warm and cozy, something like that. Okay. And who knows, maybe I'll even add some flowers. But I think that's so sweet. And let me just grab. I think I'll do a light gray. So let's do okay. So I do agree I need some shadows underneath. So what is it? C1, C0, and C00. For the sky, this is the Northern Shore collection. And I'm trying to get them all in here for you guys. Okay, so this is the Northern Shore collection. I used Icy Water, Winter Lake, and Arctic Mountain. So those, like I said, my color seems to be slightly off tonight for some reason in my video. It's a beautiful blue. It just looks a hint more purplish in the video, but it's a gorgeous blue. Oh yes, definitely going to use some splatter. I definitely need splatter. So let's use this as a, I'm gonna add, I'm not good at shadows when it comes to stuff like this, but we're just gonna go like this and hope this, because I'm not an artist. I just know it needed something. So forgive me if you're a true artist and you're like, what is she drawing? That is not a shadow. I know. I don't remember how this would be, but it's going to be enough for me to feel better about it. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Yeah, I should just stick to ink blending because I'm not sure about these shadows. But it needed something. I agreed. Maybe a little bit there underneath. The shadow, it's hard to tell if it's my light casting shadows or it's actually my marker. Okay, so I just did that with some Copic markers real quick. What do you think of that? Did that give me shadows? You like that? Okay. Oh, you know what else is in here that I did not die cut? Is there's a pillow on here. So I do think I want to do like a Christmas pillow. Okay. here on out, I am not going to go live unless I have my stuff planned out because this drives me nuts that I don't have anything planned out. But it's getting to be after 7. I do want to let you guys go. Um, but I'm gonna finish this off screen. So I'm gonna go find some like Christmas or wintry sentiment and I'm gonna finish it off. I will add splatters. I'm probably gonna do some flowers, although I'm most likely not gonna use the ones included in the set. I might do gems, but they do have a flower die on here. So this is more spring type of feeling. But like I said, I'm trying to turn it wintry. So it doesn't have to be Christmas. I just wanted it to have the winter feel. So I will add splatters, I will find a sentiment, and then we'll see how I feel about it after that point. Because I still feel like something is missing from it, but maybe the splatters will do it for me. Aw, sleeping fox would be cute. That would be cute. And then at least though, I hope if nothing else, you looked at this Green Hill stencil in a new light that you can use it for a snowy background. And maybe I'll still do something with this. I don't know. Because this is the Green Hills. Like I said, I will sit a lot of times and just experiment with things. And then what I do is I stick it back in the packaging. So if I go to make something like, oh, I already have it done. And I just felt like playing with it though. You don't have to create a card right as you're working with everything. Sometimes this could just sit for a while until something hits me, or maybe down the road something else comes out and I'm like, "Oh, that would be great to use with the swing." So, you don't always have to have a finished project. I know this is probably, a second or third time I've done something where I didn't finish it. It's going to sit until something comes to me with it. I just enjoy playing with it and figuring it out and then getting more ideas. Like I said, maybe I'll come back and add something else. But I do have a few ideas I want to finish with this. So I will do that off camera. And then, there's other options with the Snowy Hill, but the garden, what was it called? The garden swing I just think is really versatile because it can be oh, it would be really, really cool. Altenew has like I think they have like a beach type of stencil or like an ocean view type of stencil. So that would be really cool. You could turn this into a swing by the beach. That would be really neat. Of course, I'm trying to do a winter card and then they have it geared more towards spring. So I mean, you can use this all year. And you'd probably get more room if you were to turn it landscape, and then you'd have more of a scene to have in the background with it. So, yeah, I think this has a lot of potential to use throughout the rest of the year. If you guys haven't picked that up yet, hopefully I'll be able to share this in other cards throughout the seasons going forward. So I'll try and keep it to the front of my pile so I can share more ideas with it because I think that's great to see more ideas than just the one. If you were just joining, I do have a special for you guys. I'm going to pop that up. This was offered from Altenew to you guys, my viewers, $8 off any orders. Excuse me, my throat's getting dry of $79 or more using the code Mindy Live for one-time use only. Can't be combined with other codes. Good through the 19th. So if you are doing any shopping tonight, I do have some of the products that I used today linked down below in the video description. Those are my affiliate links. So I do get a small percentage back if you do use the affiliate links. I will update the supply list after the live is done and I've just had a chance to kind of sit back. I'll grab something to eat. But this is a fantastic opportunity for you guys to maybe go searching for some fun things on the Altenew website because there's always something great that they have in their discount or clearance sections too. So let me just pop back up over here. There we are. Hi, everyone. My glasses always look crooked. So all right. Any questions before I go tonight? You guys were fantastic in the comments. Thanks for sticking with me. I hate when I get indecisive in lives. I knew I was going to use this. I kind of had an idea what scene I wanted to do, but it just wasn't coming together for me. And I hate when that happens. But that's real life. That's what happens when I'm crafting regular too. So unless I completely plan out every single detail, which doesn't happen very often. Any questions before we head out for tonight? Thank you guys. All right, where is it? There it is. Okay, I don't see any questions. I do appreciate y'all being here tonight. And in the comments, I loved seeing the chatting. And thanks to my moderators that were providing links for you guys. If you're catching the replay, thank you so much for catching the replay. That special from Altenew is good through the 19th. So if you happen to be catching that replay, just keep that in mind. Thank you, Debbie. You guys are so wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go find some supper to eat and finish off this card project. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you back here next Monday for sure. So thank you all so much. Bye.